Awesome. Sean, we're going to have you work on the chat area. Fabulous. Thanks for welcoming everyone there. Okay. Really great to see so many people. I hope everyone's doing well tonight, and we really appreciate you're able to come together and join us this evening.
Hello.
Awesome. Hi, Connie. Welcome.
Thank you. Hi, guys.
If we can get you to rename yourself with the name of your club beside your name so that everyone knows which club you're joining us from.
Okay. And I will figure out how to do that.
You bet. It's all, yeah. It's so great to see so many wonderful faces here. Awesome. Jim, we're doing good. We're at 57 right now. Thanks for you guys for helping on welcoming everyone.
I still don't see Elmer.
He's here. I had a chat with Elmer already.
He's still in his pajamas, I think.
No, I had to call my technician in. All right. Really great to see so many people joining us. Thank you, everyone. We're just on the verge of dinner hour, and our goal tonight is to spend an hour together so that you can go on and enjoy your family as well.
I thought if you could hit your space bar, you could unmute yourself, but it doesn't seem to work. What's up with that?
That's, I can't answer that for you, Stan, but if you go to the mute on the very far left corner, you can mute yourself there. So we'll just wait another couple minutes. I see we have some more people joining us.
Hi, Trace.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm awesome. That was nice to see you.
Yeah, good to see everybody.
It is awesome. We've got a really great group of people joining us tonight. Beautiful Rotarians. So if everyone can just rename themselves and just with their name and the club you're with, so that we can see all the different areas of our district and the wide range of clubs that are represented here this evening.
Nevis Proofer with the Rotary Club of Whitecourt and Area Governor for Tracey.
Wonderful. So,
Trace, how do you rename yourself?
So there is at the top right of your, where your screen is, where your picture is, you'll see 3 little dots. And if you hit those dots, it gives you the option to rename yourself.
Why don't we make this a district governor's challenge, because you as host can rename all the participants too. Do you remember where
Oh, I love you, Brad, but love it. Now, if any of you haven't seen, Brad did a really fabulous video this week on Facebook, so do take a peek at that. So Jim, can I ask you to do the welcome here for us? District Governor-elect Jim Ferguson, please.
Well, welcome everybody to tonight's meeting. It's nice to see so many people here tonight. When we start the meeting, it's best if we all mute ourselves because there can be quite a bit of background noise. If you have a question or a comment for Tracey, just enter it into the Zoom group chat and I'm going to try to monitor it and get that question or comment to Tracey. So again, welcome everybody. Nice to see you here.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Jim. And again, thanks everyone for joining us. I have just shared my screen and I am joining you from the beautiful community of Grand Prairie, Alberta. And I'm pleased to say that the snowbanks are just as tall as I am, as you can see. This afternoon, Vince and I had a chance to take a break from our home office and we thought we'll take a quick just jaunt around the neighborhood. And this is our front yard. This is the tree in our front yard that you're seeing right now. I share that with you to show that we know that life has changed and we don't normally have -20 weather here at the first part of April and in spring, but we still have a smile as we are venturing through, and we're still giggling as we venture through our journey as we're traveling right now. So tonight is a wonderful night. We have members from all over the district that are joining us, beautiful Rotarians. We have presidents, president-elects, and we also as well have some area governors joining us. So as we get started tonight, we do want to start with an inspirational quote, and some have seen this quote already that were part of prior meetings. Maria Shriver, if you haven't followed her, I encourage you to definitely take a peek at Maria and follow her information and her quotes. She's very inspirational. And as we get started today, I really appreciated her quote, and it really represented well for us as Rotarians. We must also all see ourselves in a way as first responders. We are responding to what life has thrown our way, and the way we respond can change a life, save a life, and reassure a life. And when I think of Rotary and what we do in Rotary International and within our clubs and our communities, I think that fits really well for each of us tonight. So we do have an agenda for you, and I've got the agenda just coming up. And as Jim has mentioned, we do want to use the chat area. And as I'm speaking, I will not be able to go into my chat area. And so Jim is going to monitor the chat area for us this evening. So please do use that chat area. It's a wonderful area to be able to connect and have conversation among yourselves and or with a specific person this evening. And I really appreciate everyone's rename themselves. As I mentioned earlier, it's wonderful to be able to know where you're from, what club you're from, and also it helps for others to connect to say, oh, I've met that person from Whitecourt, or I've met that person from Fort St. John or Edmonton, etc. So thank you again. Thanks for joining us. You'll see I have an agenda here for you, and we're going to start with some welcome remarks and also some district and Rotary International updates. We also will be joined by Tim Shields, past district governor, who's also our foundation chair, and also Jim and Donna are going to present to you also regarding to the district learning and development and the changes we've made in regards to the current situation and where we're going as a district. So as we get started, I encourage you to grab your beverage. I have a nice glass of water here that I'm going to sit back and enjoy as I share with you, share in fellowship and in friendship. So again, welcome everyone. I can see tonight we have members from all through our district. We have members from Lloydminster, Whitecourt, Camrose, Yellowknife, Vermilion, Peace River, Dawson Creek, Edson, Grand Prairie, Fort St. John, and oh, so much more. And I thank you for taking time. I thank you for sharing yourselves through Rotary, but also sharing yourself tonight. I hope you are well and you're staying healthy. And as I mentioned, I share that picture with you of Vince and I to just really share that we continue to smile and go forward in these turbulent times. My heart is truly filled with gratitude for the amazing stories that I'm hearing from each of you, of your care and how all of you are responding and reaching out to your communities and supporting each other. We know right now that many clubs and many members are reaching out to each other, and they're doing very creative things to connect. Some of them are phone calls, some of them are doing virtual meetings, some of them are just walking by and waving hello and texting to say, I'm outside of your house right now. But we're seeing some very, very innovative and wonderful opportunities of connection happening. And we're seeing that you're sharing those, and I thank you for sharing. That's important. right at this time, connecting with each other is one of the most important things that we can do. I also see, as I'm chatting with many of you, that we're exploring how we can continue to serve our communities both on a local level and abroad. And we're looking at what this looks like, because it's very different than what it was 3 weeks ago and 4 weeks ago. And I thank you for your positive direction in this new space. We are in this together, and I can share with you that we're all building a new norm. And our care for each other is first and foremost. And my care for you is that you're healthy and you and your family are doing well. And I appreciate each of you for what you're doing. And as you can see by the agenda that I share with you, we have a strong governor team that's supporting you. Both Jim and I and Donna, the three of us, are working strongly together. We're working hard with our district support teams. We're working very hard with our area governors, and many of the area governors have joined us tonight. Last weekend, we had a very long and intense meeting with your area governors to dive deep into the challenges that we're all facing. And during that meeting, we explored options on how we can support you the best during these times. And I'm very honored with their passion and their support and their care for you. We talked about being nimble, and we talked about being flexible, and we talked about change, because we know change is where we are today. So what I'd like to do is to start sharing some updates with you from both the district level and a Rotary international level. So we know, as we all are hearing, breathing, living every day, we're in very unprecedented times right now. And as we know, life is changing hour by hour. At the district level, we have recognized this unknown, and we have developed a risk management committee. And this committee was struck to help to guide us and to maneuver through these unknown territories. It was very tough and very disappointing for us to have to cancel the spring assembly. And as you know, there is so much importance by coming together face to face as we normally do through the assembly. District Governor-elect Jim, District Governor nominee Donna, and I are very committed to stay connected. And we've designed a schedule of upcoming sessions and online activities that will help to support you in your role, but also our district. And Donna will be sharing that information with you shortly within this meeting. Many of you have reached out and asked questions about our young people. What's the future of our youth programs within the district? Well, youth exchange is something that's a key important project of our district. And our first priority is safety for all. We've been working hard to ensure that our outbound students get home safely, the ones we could bring home, and to ensure that our inbound students are safely within our country here in the district and have the right supports that they need to be safe at this time. At this time, we have 3 students that are still outbound and 4 that are inbound. We're working closely with the host committees, the host clubs, and all of the parents to ensure those children are safe and have the best support possible during these times. We don't know what the future holds for the 2020-2021 program. RI has not provided us with direction as of yet. Our risk management task force has come together, and they've also worked on what we need to look at to identify what are the trigger points and when do we activate. The committee recently met, and they will be reporting their findings to the board of directors at our next board meeting, which is scheduled for April the 7th. We will be able to provide you as presidents and president-elects and area governors with further information following that meeting. We as well have formed a task force that's working on Ripon and Riley, as both of those events were scheduled for May and the end of April. We know we can't come together at this time. We're following all of the Government of Alberta and as well the Government of Canada's regulations and guidelines. So we have set a task force to explore how we can continue to bring together our young people. So we have canceled the Ripon and the Riley events that were scheduled, but I'm pleased to share with you that we have formed a Youth Connect team. And this Youth Connect team is built of the organizing committees of both of those events. Now, this team recognizes that with the current situation happening within our communities, that we need to do the best we can to help our young leaders. They are feeling the stress and the anxiety and the uncertainty as well, and they're concerned for what lies ahead of them. So they have created an online connection, that will be launched April 7th. And at this time, you'll hear, on April 7th, you'll hear more information in regards to it. But what the intent is that we have an online platform that will support our young people throughout the district. This Youth Connect committee will have events that will be specifically involving around engaging and connecting with our young people, our students, and helping to support them in the needs that they need to have fun, connect, but also to show them where they can reach out for mental health support, help to ensure that they have adequate food and the adequate supports that they need. So we're very honored that this group has come together and what it represents for our young people. So do watch for more information that will be released next week. As many of you have done, you've also had to close your offices. Some of you are still working from your homes, but many are not. Many are working in their homes, and not in your offices. Our district office is closed. We cannot have anyone access the office, but I'm pleased to say that Deneen is set up at home and she's working to support each of us to the best capacity. Now, please be flexible with her because things are also, as you know, in the turbulence times, and she's doing the absolute best that she can as we work through all of this. We also are pleased to share with you that Rotaract has had some changes as well at the district level. The 2019 Council of Legislation made some significant changes to Rotaract to help to shape the future of Rotary. And what the council has done is they've elevated the status of Rotaract clubs. And our district supports what has happened. And so our district has moved Rotaract out of the youth services to a district entity. And what this entity is creating the opportunity for our Rotaract clubs to connect and to strengthen each other. So we are in the midst of forming a district Rotaract council. And this council is specifically designed to support all of our Rotaract clubs and to ensure that we're diving deeper to ensure that there's a strong network and alliance between the Rotaract clubs and also our Rotary clubs. We have heard from our Rotaractors that they desire to teach and mentor, and they're looking for opportunities to work with each of us. They want to work with us, they want to work with each other, and they want to increase their service opportunities. And they also have said to us, we want to offer guidance and support to ensure that we're supporting the struggling Rotaract clubs because they're not sure who to turn to. So I'm really pleased to say that Yvonne from the district board, Yvonne Jobé, is steering and leading the creation of our Rotaract Council, and she's doing just an absolute magnificent job. I met with her on the weekend because we have a group in Northern Alberta that would like to establish a new Rotaract club, and she's so excited to help to support them. And in support of our Rotaractors, I have joined Rotaract Canada as a special advisor. And so I'll be offering support and guidance and governance and in offering support to go forward to strengthen Rotaract Canada so that they're strong to support all of our Rotaract clubs and our districts across our nation. Many of you have moved your board meetings to online. And as we all need to continue to operate to the best capacity for our organizations, we also need to remind ourselves we are legal entities. And as you continue to operate, I remind you to reflect on your bylaws. Pull your bylaws out for your club, look at them, ensure that you understand what your capacity is to operate online. It is really important that you document everything. And this is a risk management strategy that's really important for you as a president and for president-elects. So review your bylaws to ensure you understand your processes. And I encourage you to always start your online meetings with a motion approving you to go forward and to hold your meeting online and to document all of those decisions. You are a legal document, and it's important to also, are a legal organization, and it's important that you also ratify these motions when you do meet face to face. And if you need any guidance on that, please reach out to me. This is an area I'm very passionate about, and I'll help to guide you in that area. And if there is a lot of interest, we'll do an online Zoom meeting just specifically to talk about the governance aspect of things to consider going forward. So, membership. All of us are responding to the COVID pandemic. And I'm here to say to you, we want to support you in the best manner possible to ensure that your efforts and your work and your direction is to help to continue to engage and support you being strong as a club. We know right now it's trying and it's difficult. So as we go forward, we want to ensure that you have everything you need to be able to meet with your clubs online or to meet and serve online until we're able to execute getting back onto the street. Something that's been identified to us is the concern with a number of clubs that have gone dark. And what we mean by going dark is the clubs that have not had a chance to meet yet. Really encourage you to consider and remind yourself that it's very important to continue to connect. At this time, your members need you. At this time, your club needs you. You are very, very important in helping to lead your clubs to ensure that they're connecting, reaching out to each other, and to show each other that we support each other and we care. Just recently this week, District Governor elect Jim held an online learning session about how you can use online platforms as a great experience to connect with each other. And it helps you to resume those meetings, and also there's certain events that you can do as well with this online platform. And so if you weren't able to participate, that session will also be posted on our website, and you can go and take a peek at it. But if you have any questions, please reach out to either Jim or myself or to Donna, and we'll help you to get started if you haven't started yet. There's quite a variety of platforms to use. It's a great opportunity. And as you can see tonight, we're using Zoom, and it's working really well. What I believe tonight, we've got quite a few members that have joined us, and it's really exciting to see that we can all connect in this manner. Now, you can use these platforms to have some amazing fun times too as well. I'm hearing from some clubs that they're holding book club competitions, they're doing some games and also some dance competitions online. So you can get creative with what you can do online. And again, it's just so important for yourself and for them and for mental health aspects. I did have a president reach out to me recently and asked how can we find a list of speaker opportunities? What's available to us? What can we find for maybe potential Rotary International speakers or district speakers, etc.? The AGs, your area governors, have started to work on this. And we built a list at our last meeting that we held at our area governor meeting. And I'm pleased to say we came up with some very innovative options. So I encourage you to reach out to your area governor and ask them, this is their time. Ask them what they have for suggestions or who they can help to connect you with. I have lots of opportunities of reaching out to others throughout the Rotary International world, and I'll help to support your area governors in finding those people for you. We also need to discuss our club fees. And I ask you and your executives to be flexible and nimble. Be as flexible and nimble as possible right now. Recognizing you're not meeting online, do you have flexibility, or probably you're not meeting in person, you're meeting online, do you have flexibility to look at your club fees to make it the most accessible for your members. We know many of our members have lost their jobs, or are facing financial hardship, or living in a world of uncertainty. And I encourage you to work together as a club to find the best ingredients and recipe to ensure that you can maintain your membership and a strong membership. And membership isn't about numbers. And many of you that I've met over my district governor journey have heard me say this. It is not about the numbers. It is about our people and the work we do. We know that we're in a place right now where people are feeling isolated, but we have an opportunity to create social cohesion right now. And we can do that with our flexibility, our nimbleness, and our opportunity to connect. And as we know, social media and online platforms provide us with those opportunities. And I encourage you to use absolutely everything and anything right now. You may want to get online with social media and say through Facebook, hey, let's have a Facebook Live meeting. Use Zoom as we are today. Maybe you want to have a competition online of pictures. Like I showed you my picture today from Vince and I taking a walk out in our neighborhood and showing the snow. Maybe you can show some green grass or show something different that is different than the snow that I have today. But there's opportunities for you to connect, and I really encourage you to explore what's available for you and what you can do. One of the things that I really encourage, and many of you know this from meeting with me and chatting with me, is let's spread kindness. Because we know kindness is contagious. And we have many opportunities to share kindness online, or as I say, if you're walking by and you do that wave at your fellow Rotarian or your neighbor as you go by. But kindness is what's going to help to get us through this. Kindness will also help us in many avenues to show that people care and that we also care. And when we offer kindness to people, it also fills up our heart as well. I did hear of a club that was doing some happy dollars online and some happy bucks. I'm not sure how they're doing it, but they're using some online techniques to do some really fun things and doing some challenges. So you never know what you can do with your happy bucks too right now. The other question I'm hearing a lot about is around how do we serve our community? We're not able to get out of our homes and maybe connect to the level we desire to. We can't maybe all gather together because we have limitations on the number of people that can connect, but we do have opportunities to still do some service in other manners. And those manners may be helping to do some networking online and supporting a charity like a food bank or a soup kitchen, or maybe a youth group that you're really passionate about. You might be able to do some online little auctions and support to say, we want to raise some monies in the profile of this specific organization because it's very important to us. You also may want to as well look at ways that you can offer some extra kindness to our medical teams, our first responders, our grocery store, service support people, and so many more. We know the essential services are still working hard within our communities. And they're working very hard. I know when I go out for groceries and pick up a few things, I see the stress on their faces. I see the work environments and the changes they're going through. This is a great opportunity for us to write some thank you cards and do some thank you messages that we can do within our own homes as Rotarians, and we can share them with those wonderful people that are serving us right now. And some of those members are many of you that are on the line today. And I thank you for that. I thank you for your care and your dedication, your profession to do what you are doing. So that a little extra bit of kindness helps each of ourselves, but also helps so many others. So if we can share goodwill and kindness in that manner, that would be, I think, a really wonderful opportunity to demonstrate Rotarians are here and we care. Because we're highly respected for what we do. We're respected as Rotarians for our 4-way test. And we're also respected for the work we do. We dive in and we accomplish. Just something to share with you that's happening in Grand Prairie is that all of our Rotary clubs have connected, and they're working hard to raise some very important and essential dollars for our food bank and our community soup kitchen. So there's many innovative things you can do, and the clubs here are using online platforms to raise these essential dollars that will feed our vulnerable people in our community and to ensure that our vulnerable have healthy and adequate food during these very difficult times. So that's an example of something that's happening that I can share that's happening right from my own community. And I've heard from many of you, there's so much more going on. One of our area governors recently shared with me that her club was working hard to ensure that they were connecting with our seniors' homes, and they were doing laundry pickups to wash clothes, the laundry, for those seniors that are right now isolated and can't access the support. And so really kudos to that group that is working hard to do that. I also saw in Whitehorse, the Rotary clubs there are very strongly connected to help their food bank as well, and recognizing they're in a remote community and that access to food is extremely important during these times. So I share those as examples with you of just a small little tidbit of things that I'm hearing, and there's so much more. And I'm hoping you're using the chat right now to share more of things that you're doing at your clubs with suggestions that others can learn from too as well. Another thing that I heard about is some sewing that's happening for Days for Girls. So here's an opportunity as we're in our homes, we can set up our sewing machines and work together to ensure that we have supplies available and ready, the Days for Girls program, that can be ensure they're available for many young women around the world that are in need. Something else that I heard about from one of our colleagues down in Pennsylvania is they were doing a gift card drive. They were encouraging everyone to think about finding a gift card maybe that they had donated or given to them that they weren't going to use, or the next time they're at the coffee shop or the grocery store to grab a gift card that could be used to give to someone that is doing some extra special service. Maybe it's at the hospitals or the doctor's offices, etc. And we know the importance of saying thank you for what people are doing. And this may be a way we as Rotarians can do that as well. So at this time, Rotary, as I've mentioned, is very important. We also need to ensure we continue to strengthen within. We've talked about being creative, and we've talked also about things we can do right now to support our community. But the other piece is we need to be ready to launch when we can get back into our communities. We need to be ready. And that's why the connection and creating a sense of social cohesion is very, very important. And I say that because we know that things are changing. And we know that the norm is not what it was 3 weeks ago. And we know that our communities are going to need us even more than ever when we get the go-ahead to say, yes, we can get back out into our communities. So innovation is key. I encourage you to think about new things, explore opportunities, and to think about what balloon are you pulling out of the sky. And no idea is a bad idea. No idea is going to take you into a wrong direction, because if your heart's there as a Rotarian, it'll be there to provide service and support for communities. And I also share with you, it's really important to understand that we are leading by example. We are being watched. The communities that we serve and the communities that we network within on social media, etc., is watching us. They're watching how we act. Sorry, quick drink. Thank you. But our communities are watching us. They're watching us in our locally as what we're doing right now, but they're also watching us online. And something that was disheartening for me was that I recently saw some Rotarians that were making some un-Rotarian comments on social media. And that challenged me. I was disappointed. But I say to you, it is up to all of us to not accept un-Rotarian social media posts or un-Rotarian judgment or comments. We need to advise them that that's not acceptable, that this doesn't meet the four-way test. We are all grounded by the four-way test, and it is our time to lead and show that we are here for the best interest of our communities and that we are here to support our communities. I love, sorry, I'm talking a lot. I love Paulo Coelho. His one quote that recently came across my desk is, "The world is changed by our example, not by our opinion." So, dear friends, I say to you, we are all in this together. Let's demonstrate our leadership, and we are a Rotary family, and let's continue to support each other and to support our communities as we go forward under the four-way test. I'm now going to ask for our District Foundation Chair, Tim Shields, to come on and share with you some additional updates from Rotary International in regards to our opportunities of partnering with Rotary Foundation to do more in support of COVID-19. Tim, can I ask you to come on board here, please?
Yes, you can, ma'am. Thanks, District Governor Tracey. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm really happy to be with you today. I would prefer to be with you in person, but such are the circumstances that that's not the way things are going to work right now. Tracey, if I can get you to unshare for a minute, I'm going to bring up a little bit of information about what's going on with Foundation right now. And while I'm doing this, I will say that I am available to speak for anybody that needs a speaker for their club. And we have a few members of our District Foundation team that would be happy to visit your club. I was just doing a count, and I think this is my 7th Rotary meeting since last Saturday. So this is how I can be social now. I've been missing it. So a few things that have come down from Rotary International, or actually the Rotary Foundation, the changes that are being made for district and global grants in the light of COVID-19. Number one is that district grants can now be used to support local activities such as purchasing thermometers, medical gear for COVID-19. And unprecedented is that if you are starting to spend money now on COVID-19 project and want to include that as part of your 2021 district grant application, you can use any money spent since March 15th, 2020 as part of that application. Normally with a district grant, you don't get to use that, or you don't get to spend the money until after the July 1st, and you have to make sure that you've already been approved, but you can retroactively use it for 2021 this year. We also have a contingency fund that we had set aside at the beginning of the year within our district grant portfolio. So we have about $5,500 right now that's available to support current initiatives to combat COVID-19. And there's a wide gamut that can be used for. I will show you what Battleford is doing shortly. Our preference will be that the applications have to be for needs of the Indigenous community. And the main reason for that focus is that we've found that the Indigenous community is the most at risk, and in particular with food security right now. So we will give a preference for that. We're going to give out 11 $500 grants. So those can be used for food. But one of the things that I got from Rotary Foundation, Renee Reiling, who is our advisor on district grants, is that we need an itemized list. So if you want to donate to the food bank, what I would suggest is you get a list of what the food bank wants for groceries, secure the purchase of those groceries, and get the receipt for them. And that's the receipt you need to submit. Not, okay, here's the check where we wrote $1,000 to the food bank. You have to have an itemized list to do it. And the 2019-2020 district grant money, any clubs that are in receipt of that have not yet spent it, if they want to repurpose for COVID-19, you can go ahead and do that. My one thing is please give me a shout before you do that. And we'll make sure that it's all going to work right. I just don't want to get to the end of the year and then it doesn't work. In particular, we have at least 3 clubs that I know of that had funding set aside for youth programs within the district, and those youth programs are currently suspended for the year or canceled for the current year. You do have a couple options with that. I know they're coming up with a plan for how they can serve the youth in our district, and I will reach out to the clubs that have that money and say, okay, here's one way you can do it, or you can repurpose and use it for COVID-19 if you wish. Global grants, one of the big things that's changed going forward is if it's COVID-19 related, like if we need something like medical equipment within our district, you can use a global grant, and Rotary has waived the requirement for 30% foreign funding. So we could fund it all locally. Normally you have to have an international partner that provides at least 30% of the money in order to go ahead. We haven't had direction as to whether or not they really need an international partner. I suspect that requirement will stay in, but I'll follow up on that and I'll give that information to you. So this little blurb that I'm showing on my screen right now is a PDF, and I will send it out to all of the presidents and presidents-elect and foundation chairs after this meeting. This will also form part of the grant training, which starts tonight. About 15 minutes after this meeting ends, I get to start running the grant training. So we will provide that there as well. You all should have already received a copy of this letter that was from Rotary International about the district grants and global grants. That was forwarded by Wayne McCutcheon last week. Last Saturday morning, I received this note, which I will also forward, from Honoring Indigenous Peoples. And it's just talks a little bit about the need within the Indigenous community and some of the things you can do to help people through what we're battling right now. And right now, I want to throw out a challenge. This media release came out last week from Rotary Club of the Battlefords that they're committing in honor of their 100-year anniversary. They're committing up to $50,000 to support emerging food needs within their community. So they're supporting Boys and Girls Club, as well as the District Food and Resource Center. And then they've got another $26,000 that they're going to put out there somehow. So I'd like to see other clubs step up in the same way. And I know there's a lot of clubs doing some amazing things. I saw Brad's note. I see Whitehorse is doing some great things within their own community. So there's all kinds of things we can do. Don't hesitate to contact any of our foundation team. We'd be happy to help find a way for you to use any foundation money that you've got right now. And you know, if that's where we need to go with that foundation money next year, that's what we'll do. That's what I've got on that. I will send out these notes. I did share them with the assistant governors last week, but I will send everybody the district response just so you've got it.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Tim. Now, if there's any questions, they'll come into the chat area there for you. And please do put those questions there for Tim. I have a few questions that I'm accumulating right now that Jim Ferguson and I are working on, and that I'll come back to when we start to close down at the next steps area. What I'd like to do now is, if there's no questions specifically for you, Tim, we're going to move into the district learning and development, please.
Okay. Well, I think I addressed it, but Brad Masteler had a question about the scholarship amounts, and yes, they can be repurposed into COVID-19, even though you said you wanted a scholarship. Just send me a note first, and then we'll make sure we can do that.
Perfect. And there is a question here from Wayne on what fund does the groceries for the food bank come from? So if you're referring to the one I mentioned around what's happening in Grand Prairie, is that they are, Wayne, they're going, the Rotarians here have gone on a mass, beautiful fundraising initiative online, and then the funds are going into a food bank fund that's being directed to the Salvation Army and the Friendship Center. Is that, and I'm hoping I've answered your question. You can continue to move into the chat area, and we can move up to that one next after we do the learning and development area. So I do see some questions coming in. I'm going to address youth exchange as well, and I'm going to address some of the other questions that are coming forward here further on. So please continue to put those questions in the chat. Donna Barrett, can I ask you now to come forward and share all the great things that you've been working on with the Learning and Development Committee?
Yeah, Tim, could you unshare your screen?
That's me. I'll do that right now. Yes.
Okay.
There we go. Perfect. There.
Okay. All right, so what I am sharing with you, as Tracey mentioned, we were really disappointed that we had to cancel the spring learning assembly. My husband's listening on his headset just behind me, and we're just getting some sound reverberation here. So what we have done is we've developed a plan that we hope will support and replace what we couldn't do, unfortunately, getting together in the spring. So the details of this plan were shared in the special edition of the the Connections newsletter, and I'm just going to show you. I'll go over it very briefly, Nelson, can you tell me where people can access this?
First of all, it was sent to everyone's email address, so it should be in your inbox. It would have come Monday evening.
Okay, perfect.
In addition, people could go to the district website, and there are a number of Facebook posts there. And if you click on the one for March 31st, it'll take you to the newsletter, and from the newsletter you can link back to the blog, which is what we're looking at right now.
Okay.
The other thing is you can go directly to the blog site, and it's the second article on the list right now. I'll put it in the chat while you're talking. How's that sound?
Okay, it's okay. I can see. Is this showing?
It shows everything.
Okay. There. Okay. Done. Okay. Okay. I'm getting tech support here. All right, I'm just going to go through this very quickly. So basically the sessions are broken into two categories. One is for everyone to look at applicable learning opportunities that are available on Rotary.org at the Learning Center. And we've attached in this document the direct links to each of those, so people should be able to find them. And then, so there is one for president-elects, there's one for AGs, and later on there are learning modules for secretaries, treasurers, club media reps. So most of the basic functions, there are online learning opportunities. And we are also providing a series of webinars for our president-elects and assistant governors. And if you look down here at the bottom, I've just sent out a notice. We have one a webinar for club secretaries, and the dates for some of these other webinars will be sent out to the club presidents, to the presidents-elect, and to the assistant governors if we aren't sure who the incoming reps are. So just watch out for these upcoming sessions, and we really want to encourage people to use the great programs that are available on the Learning Center at Rotary.org, because there's a lot of information there that will be really helpful, and people can do it on their own time in a manner that's easy for them to access. And Tracey, I think that's all I have to say at the moment.
Wonderful. Donna, thank you so much. So I just want to add too as well that Scott Young is on with us, and he's setting up Facebook events for us for these events as well. So you can find information will be coming forward through our Facebook group page. So if you are not on the group page, I encourage you to become a member of the group, the District 5370 group page. And as well, Nelson has information in, as you noted here, by the newsletter, and we'll continue to have events in the newsletter. Sean Draper is on with us today as well, and Sean also is managing our website, and the website also has some information on it too as well with the events. So we're trying to ensure that you have the information readily available. It might be in your inbox, it might be on Facebook, or it might be on the website, but we're trying to ensure that we're hitting all those target areas so you have the information at your fingertips.
Tracey, can I just add, I just noticed in looking at this document, it doesn't, we didn't include the direct links on this document. So we will get that out to people. It just makes it a lot easier for people to get right to where they need to go on the website, on the Learning Center at Rotary.org.
Actually, Donna, if people click on the colored spot, the blue, I think it's blue, it'll take them to those sites.
Okay, perfect. That's all I
So
need.
they're there.
Thanks, Nelson. Thanks.
Wonderful. Thank you both for that and your tremendous support in building this program. As you can see, we're really excited. We're nimble and we are moving, we're pivoting, and at the district level to ensure that we can do the best possible to support you. And so this system and the program that's been built, we're quite excited what it's going to mean. We're hoping that you find it useful. We'll be looking for your feedback too as well. So please register, get on board, and support us as you are today for those learning opportunities. And it will help to strengthen you as a leader and also strengthen your clubs too as well. So I've got a couple questions I want to address here that have come up, and around, first off, is how to have an online motion in regards to, and I think this comes back to my comment on governance, and this came from Ken. So Ken, and to all of you, what's really important is that when you determine you're going online to hold a meeting, that you pass a motion to allow for you to go online. So when you first, on your agenda, it would be your first agenda item, would be to accept that you are going online to host your club, the Rotary Club of da-da-da online, and that's their board meeting. You will summarize well in your minutes, your conversations and your decisions. You will have motions that you'll document. Then when you do meet face to face, you will then ratify everything from that meeting. You will take on your face-to-face agenda and include a motion that ratifies that you accept the minutes and the motions from that meeting. So it's a little bit of extra documentation, but what it does is ensures that you meet all the requirements and that you don't deal with any issues around, oh, well, we couldn't do that or we could do that. So this just helps to tighten up the systems and ensure that you are operating to the best possible during these times. And truthfully, if you're chartered under a province, if it's Alberta, BC, Saskatchewan, or one of the territories, and if we're ever, if we ever have someone that comes and analyzes us, I'm fairly confident they're going to understand some of the challenges we've all been through, but it's just really important to document. That's your backup. And you want to always make sure on a risk management that you cover as much detail as possible and have your backup. And ensure you've got your minutes available for when, in case you do need them. There was another question that came up too as well in regards to youth exchange. And there was a couple, I think Eeyore and a couple mentioned around if we do cancel the next year and stop it for 1 year and then refocus on the next year, can we repurpose the funds? We'll have further information for you following the board meeting. I can't speak on this right now without the board discussion next week. What I can share with you is the committee was worked really hard. I can share it's been hours, absolute hours of meetings, research, evaluating all of the safety aspects of our young people, the impact of the program, and the concern of what we're facing right now. Following next week's board meeting, we'll be able to provide further feedback, and I will provide information to you, to all the presidents, in an email on the status of the direction from the board. And so please, if we could just hang tough on the youth exchange for 2020, 2021, and we'll address this with you following. And if needed, we'll pull together a quick meeting as we are today to have some conversations, deeper conversations on it. I also had a question as well that I see regarding online platforms. So what is, in regards to online platforms for fundraising? So what you have the opportunity to partner with another organization, like a charity, you can partner with them. There is, as we know, GoFundMe pages and things as well. And there's also another platform called Canada Helps. So say, for example, you desire to work with your food bank in Whitehorse, and Ian and Ken and the team say, this is what we want to do in Whitehorse. We want to fundraise for the Whitehorse food bank. You can partner with them and set up what we call as a special fundraising page. And they in turn are the charity that will receive the monies, and those monies will be, any donations will go to that fund, but you as Rotary clubs can help to lead it and to guide it. So I encourage you to explore by talking to your food banks and your charities, exploring if it's through GoFundMe's or through Canada Helps. With Canada Helps, there's charitable receipts that are issued immediately. So you have that benefit. GoFundMe, there's no charitable receipts issued. So there are a few platforms you can use, and it's just finding someone within your organization that can find a way to help you to do it. And I see, Marcus, you've just mentioned ATB Helps. There is a cap on the ATB Helps too as well. So if you want to research that, you can find the information on that. They do have some matching dollars that they cap on. And so definitely, take a peek at all the options there. And, this is my profession. This is what I really appreciate. I appreciate all the the tools that are out there. There's a lot of tools. And if you want to reach out to me on a one-on-one afterwards, I can definitely talk to you too as well. So also as well, there was a question around online speakers, and I saw some communication that was going into the group talk around can we get some lists going, etc. I'm going to ask the area governors to come together and to talk about that more, because we did talk about that at our meeting last week, and we had some good suggestions. And I also have some others, some of those names that have come to me. So I'm going to ask the area governors to work closely with the governor team to ensure that we've got a list and you've got that list available. And we'll see where we can post it. If we can get it through the website or wherever it might be right now, I'm not certain, but we'll make sure we can do that. So I think I hit the questions. District Governor-elect Jim, was there anything I missed on the questions there?
No, I don't think so, Tracy. I believe that was it. So.
Okay, wonderful. And anyone can reach out to us, either myself or any of the team here at any time. As you know, it really is important that you connect and talk as a group and as a club and support each other, and that we're here also to support you with your area governor. Your area governor's on the ground with you and is a good conduit. And I have to say, I'm so proud of our area governors. So there is one I see here that Scott Young, you've just posted, and I'll just come back to this in regards to, talks about bylaws, and you noted that you updated yours recently to allow for you to vote electronically. Yes, Scott, but you also need to ensure that you ratify that vote when you meet in person. So yes, you can still meet online, and you can have your votes online, but again, it's when you come back in person, you need to ratify those votes in person when you are working on your in-person meetings. So as long as you just keep documenting and keep those that communication going, you are good to go. Okay, wow, I love this discussion. I can see the chats there going long, and that's great. So a couple things before we sign off today is Rotary Club Central. Many of the wonderful presidents have already been doing this, but updating in Rotary Club Central. I know we're in this bit of a hole right now, and I'm very respectful of the bit of the hole that we're in, but we're still moving forward as Rotary clubs. So I ask all of the presidents to ensure that you go in, look at your bylaws, or pardon me, not bylaws, look at your goals and update your goals. Record your activities. Be proud, show what you're doing, record it, share with your club to say, look at, we may not be meeting right now, but look what we've also accomplished. This is important for you to recognize what you've accomplished, and it's important for myself to be able to reflect on the work you're doing, and also for Rotary International. So please do, if you can, get those into those updated too as well. The other piece I want to share with you is that we also recognize that it's really important to stay connected. And we, in addition to all the learning and the development opportunities, we've also set forward and started a schedule of up and coming activities online where we can come together on specific areas. So I was asked if I would do a coffee talk. I said, love to do a coffee talk, to be able just to connect with everyone and to possibly bring in some special speakers. Well, I'm really pleased to say that on Monday, April the 6th, we confirmed yesterday that Rotary International Director Jeffrey Cadillac is going to join us for an online coffee session with myself. So it is at 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, or Mountain Daylight Time, pardon me. We'll be meeting for a Zoom meeting for 1 hour, where Jeffrey is going to share his updates from Rotary International. And this is your opportunity to get to know Jeffrey, and also to allow to have some questions and some conversations as well with Jeffrey. So I ask you to share this information with everyone. To have Jeffrey join us is a privilege, and it's a wonderful opportunity. It is quick that we're throwing this together, but it is really important that we also participate and show Jeffrey that we're amazing Rotarians and that we also desire to have a conversation with him. So please share that with your clubs. The link is on our Facebook group page under the events. Scott Young has done a tremendous job of creating that event. He has the link there and is really excited to be able to help to promote this event and to have you join us. So please check that out and join us for that. And in addition, we also have the insurance session that's coming up. As we all know, we've gone through the insurance changes over this last year, and you know, it's one of those things that now we're moving through not only the COVID-19, but we're also working through the changes with the insurance company. And I'm really honored to say that we have a really good team with the new insurance provider that is providing some good resources to us and support. Part of our focus is risk management to ensure that you have all the tools and that you have the best capacity to operate and understand the insurance to the best in all areas. So we have Rob from Wilson Beck that is going to be meeting with all of the presidents. President-elects are invited and the secretaries are invited for another webinar, which is on the April the 9th at 7 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time. And so please, if you can join us, we would, there was already quite a few that have registered, so many of you have. So again, that is, yes, Sally, it is Mountain Daylight Time as I've noted here. And so you notice that it is not BC time as Sally's mentioned here in the group chat. So Brenda, just so you know, the invitation for Brenda from Swan City just made a request to ask if everything has gone out on the invite to Rotary International Director Jeffrey's session. No, it has not. I'm relying on all of you to help to do that. So if you can send the invitations to your club members, because it is open to absolutely everyone. The whole membership's invited. Okay, there is something that I just want to address that just came up too as well in the conversations from Cindy. Cindy, yes, we are aware that the vulnerable sector checks at this time we're not able to process them. This is on the agenda for next week's board meeting, recognizing that we do have a policy that indicates there's a 3-year window with regards to the vulnerable checks, and that there will be further information coming out in regards to that, that you can definitely take a peek. And Jeanette, if we're not familiar with the online version that you're noting, if you can provide that to me before next week, that would be really helpful so that the board can make an informed decision when we look at that policy next week and what's our best opportunities for going forward. Okay, there's been a lot there. There's lots of comments. I love this chat that's going on and lots of information. And as we close today, I want to say thank you again. From my heart to yours, I share my gratitude for each of you, for all the work you're doing and making sure that your clubs are strong, that you are strong, and you are healthy. As we know and we've discussed, our world is shifting and we're very much in some uncertain times. I ask you to please hold empathy and understanding as you go forward. I ask you to recognize that we're all in this together and hold that empathy and understanding in your heart. And there's going to be times we need to pause, we may need to pivot, and we may need to change what we're doing. But we're all doing the best we can as where we are in the position we are and the time of day that we are right now. And we want you to know that your area governors are here with you. They're walking this journey with you. And so am I, and so is the rest of the board and the governor team. And we're here to support you so much, and I'm just so grateful. So please continue to share love and kindness, to continue to show yourself, your club members, and your community how much you care. And please stay healthy. Please, please stay healthy. We care about you, and we want to see you be strong and healthy as we move through this. And so I'm going to end with that. And I'd like to, again, just express my dear appreciation for each of you. And please continue to stay in touch. And we will be looking at future conversations and future meetings in the future of other topics that we can come forward with, and we'll continue to keep you abreast to all the discussions and all the changes and things that are happening within the district and within Rotary International. Thank you to each of you. So, and Brad, you said it the best. Thanks to everyone. You're the best, and you are all the best. Thank you. So take care, everyone.
Thank you all for attending. Have a good day. Bye.
You as well, Danielle. See you. Nice to see you.
Tracey, you're going to be sending this. Sorry.
Sir Dennis.